Welcome back to the Purple Political Breakdown. How's it going? How's your day been? Now, today we're going to be reacting to a leftist perspective on the President Biden versus Donald Trump debate. We did a little bit. We didn't really. We did like 3 minutes of the Daily Wire, and I just couldn't do it anymore because all of them were just circle jerking Donald Trump, to be honest. So now let's see what Destiny provides. I think he's when it came down to the more nuanced right-leaning and left-leaning kind of content creators that I look, usually I thought it was the Daily Wire, but I don't know, maybe not. I thought it was Ben Shapiro, but maybe not. And then we'll go into Destiny, so let's dive right into it. Let's skip the teaser.
Tonight?
Yeah, we'll be watching it. I think I can watch it on Kick because I won't get DMCA'd.
Gotcha. What would the consequences of that be, out of curiosity? Because I've not had a copyright strike. Is it like channel deletion or a ban?
You know what? Hold on. I'm not doing this for you. You need to turn your mic up. Figure it out. I'm keeping you at 100.
What about now?
Okay, turn it down like 20%.
There's no pleasing you.
Spirit. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue back into our country.
What are we even talking about here? It feels like both of them are trying to answer as much as possible in like 2 minutes.
They've raised $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period.
No, you wouldn't.
Right, wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do.
Right,
we need that emote of his face.
Now, the state, follow your heart, but you have to get elected also, and because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected.
True.
The problem they have is they're wrapped because they will
what is happening?
take the life of a child.
You don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying,
there was a good point buried somewhere in there.
Murdered. What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks, something very, very conservative. I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
No, let him talk, no!
That point was one of that's an interesting one. I think what Destiny's about to say is that Trump should have answered that because he would have pissed off a lot of Republicans, but we'll move forward.
Oh, let Trump. Oh, no. I wanted to hear his answer there. Biden's funny because of how he says it. Trump is funny for what he says. It's the dynamic duo. Go ahead and just close your mouth, please.
That's a good point. Biden sounds sleepy. He's Sleepy Joe right now. Trump just doesn't say anything. Oh my goodness.
He's anti-newing. Bro, what is my country? What is happening? Thanks.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous.
Okay.
It's simply a lie.
Okay, nice.
Number two,
take it slow.
The idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. No president.
Oh my God.
Like
We're doing a whole list.
No president in our history has spoken like that.
Do 3, okay.
Number 3, the crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties?
Okay.
For molesting a woman in public.
Oh!
A range of things. Of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. I mean,
okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but Biden can't go through a whole like. I feel like, I think one thing that it is fair to say about when I was initially reacting to it, because I only care about substance. I wasn't really looking at optics much, but after Joe Biden can't get through a full sentence. But I also don't want Trump. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so annoying. Why are these our candidates? Why are these our candidates? The Republican side, I was vouching for Nikki Haley, but these freaking Trump supporters got this guy back in office and he didn't do a single debate. Oh my goodness. If he would have debated even Vivek, he would have got destroyed. It's actually crazy to me that Trump supporters are so obsessed with this guy that he became the primary nominee and he didn't do anything to do it. And then Joe Biden was former president, so I guess, but Jesus Christ. This is why we need third parties, because apparently Democrats and Republicans don't know how to pick candidates, bro. And I'm not even a big RFK Jr. guy, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff that he says throws me off too, but I prefer him over these two. Yo, America. I'm preaching to you right now. America. Do the unthinkable. Set a precedent now that will change America forever. Set the precedent of a third party presidential candidate. All of you watching social media, I need you guys to know that Joe Biden is not the answer. He's just too incoherent. Donald Trump is not the answer. He's just a bad leader, president, liar. Everything that is bad for a president of the United States, it's not Donald Trump. Set a precedent. RFK Jr. Make him the guy.
You have the morals right now.
And I'm not saying this because I have any gripes against Biden or Trump. I'm just telling you how I perceive it without any kind of political allegiance. This is how I perceive it as of right now. And that's why I want something that is a lot better in general.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two,
Oh,
That's a lie.
no.
started and moved.
We've entered Twitch debate territory.
They moved a
This is a guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are.
Ooh,
Good things
okay,
for
better.
America, that's what he said.
Slogans, yes,
This guy
that's
has
good.
no sense for American
Okay,
democracy.
yes. He's pulling it back. Slogans.
Jake.
We saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. His own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time.
Damn.
His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why?
Yeah,
Why?
that's
We
pretty
don't
bad.
know.
Focus
We
on
saw-
that.
Why are they not endorsing
Focus.
Thank you, President Biden. We're going
Let him answer that. I want to hear Trump's answer to that.
Bro.
He just has to make it until when? November?
Yeah.
That's all he has to do is make it till November, okay? I believe in his ability to stay alive. That's all that matters.
Like, somebody needs to hold up a sign somewhere.
I also want to be clear. They both have their issues. I personally still rather have Biden in office over Trump.
Clear your
Personally.
fucking throat. I feel like that's like 50% of the problem. I don't even know how he doesn't hear.
Well, it could also be that that's just his voice because he's like 97 years old.
I don't know. Like, he usually like clears, I don't know, like 4 tablespoons of phlegm.
He might have.
mid-sentence.
Maybe he
Yeah.
has COVID. Maybe he's debating through COVID right now.
All right. What do you think so far? Real talk.
I mean, it's a meme debate. I don't know. Biden. I think that most people are just going to take away from this like the timbre of Biden's voice, which sounds pretty bad. It sounds like when he tries to answer a question, it sounds like he's trying to say way too much. Whereas like when Trump answers questions, like it sounds like this. Okay, so the question is like, how are we going to improve schools? And then Biden's answer is like, well, we're gonna all the textbooks are gonna come out, and we're gonna have every teacher is gonna get a raise for $40,000.
the idea.
Yeah, and it's like he's like trying to run down like his whole platform in his head. Whereas like for Trump, it's like, how are we gonna improve schools? And Trump's like, let me tell you something. Joe Biden had more U.S. servicemen killed in Afghanistan on his pullout than have ever died in any American war in all of history.
Right,
And he's a
he wants an
loser. And it's like it's like what? I don't even know what the fuck we're listening to right now. And that's basically it.
Yeah, it's been painful so far. But you know what? I will say, historically, incumbent presidents don't do well in their first debate. Obama, everyone said he was a.
I don't think
massive
there's any
debater.
precedent. I think we're in uncharted waters, my friend. I don't know if there's any precedent that we can appeal to right now.
I still can't believe these are our candidates,
I'm
man.
gonna say is you better keep your appointment tomorrow with Pierce to defend this.
I mean, they haven't
okay?
responded back to me, so it's basically just going to be a bunch of people saying like, okay, well, let's ignore the substance of the entire conversation, just talk about how they sound, and that's going to be the whole combo. That's it. So
Oh, God.
Probably.
All right.
We
I'm
that
watching
video
you watch
reaction
it
will be coming
because,
out.
I have a very low like secondhand embarrassment threshold, so like I just struggle, bro. It really is. So anyway,
don't worry,
you'll get through.
he's just waking up. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Round 2. All right. Talk to you soon.
Do you think this will have a major impact on elections? I think historically, I don't know if it was Nate Silver or just 538 published that debates often have zero impact on elections, is what they reported in the past. I don't know if that was true or not, but I also don't know if that'll be true in this election, because I feel like everything about like our recent elections, I don't know how well trends predict anything, because that's also something that 538 fought, so I have no idea, who knows.
Welcome back to the CNN president.
Historically,
I agree with Destiny in terms of we're in uncharted territory. People are so opinionated nowadays. Social media obviously playing a large factor. And because of clips, because of narratives nowadays, that people get their entire opinion kind of formed and changed based off like one clip. So I can see it having a huge impact today because of how information is relayed versus back in the past.
I know this is the earliest debate ever. I don't know.
Let's talk about persistent.
I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good.
That's a lie.
He's low-key cooking? Yeah, what, on the flame on 1 out of 10? He just needs to pick like 1 or 2 talking points instead of trying to like rattle off every fact.
He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. Do you notice he never took out?
What are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment?
Why is it funny? Is that not true?
Jake, we were doing very
It's just
well
he didn't answer the question.
until the COVID came along.
How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, you can see I conserve all my brain power for being the president.
Spent half my career.
I don't waste any of it on talking.
Because I was being the youngest person.
I mean, I think let me listen to this part. I wanted to hear Destiny's like honest perspective, but I mean he's kind of just laughing through it because it's kind of a joke nowadays. I'm gonna watch like more specific debates on everything
Just
and
swap the candidate.
future videos.
I feel like it would be such a shakeup. I think you would just instantly lose like some huge percentage of your voter base. It would just be like, or maybe it would be like super. I feel like Kamala would be better. No, I don't think so. I think Kamala would be deeply divisive. She's both black and a woman. I don't think, and she's also I think quite progressive. I think more so than Biden is. I don't think that Kamala would be it. I don't think. I just don't think she's like the way.
Yeah, I don't want Kamala.
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think that Newsom. I just
Why
don't
do
think
we
they
have
would swap at this point? I don't think. I don't.
Why do we have so many terrible choices? Like,
I think I ever could have. You're locked in really hard to your incumbent. It's pretty rough, but I think not being able to communicate is just horrible for Biden. Yeah, it's definitely a problem. Although I'm not sure sometimes if his I think you can work around his communication issues. He just needs to be more I think that if he modifies the strategy, I think his communication can be sufficient for what he needs to do. All he needs to do is just focus on a few key points and then hammer that home instead of he's trying to answer so much in these questions. He doesn't need to do that. Nobody gives a Nobody that's voting for Trump has ever changed their mind because of a fact. Okay, just find your 1 or 2 points to hammer home and just focus on that. There were a few answers where he gave it and he just focused on one. He's like, yeah, just do that. That's it. That's all you need to do.
That's a good point. For the most part, you're not going to change Trump supporters. Like Trump supporters are going to. You could say anything about Trump supporters, they're still going to support him. So if that's the case, your strategy should be focused on the people in the middle and should be focused on retaining your side, right? So in terms of that, Biden sticking to facts is the right way to go, because he also tries to combat Donald Trump's buffoonery in terms of some things he said. I think you could just say that's dumb, you're lying, and then go into the facts, right? Like when Donald Trump kind of talked about how he gave Biden an amazing economy, you can be like, you lied, this is what actually happened, and this is how I'm going to continue. Like, I agree with Destiny. Sticking to very simple answers probably would do Biden the best.
Who cares? Nobody cares about the fucking numbers. Nobody cares about any of that shit. Just focus on a couple of good talking points and then do that. Because that's all Trump does. Yeah, I think that'd be better.
That's also very interesting because Ben Shapiro said something about how it's only about moments, and then Destiny's talking about how people are not caring about the facts. I think presidential debates in and itself, I mean, I expect more from it. I think the content creators that talk about it need to talk about it in a lot more depth. Don't stick to the moments. They need to talk about it in depth. The analyzers, the candidates itself, you would hope they go into depth, like the McCain versus Obama debate, but it's unfortunate.
Strategy. Has he sounded this week recently? Sounded? No. He's either sick now or he's on his death's bed. How can you tell a sitting president, close your mouth when you're not talking? So you don't look half dead? I don't know. You just say it. Listen. We just have to drag his body over the finish line.
You got to remember that he wasn't allowed to confer with his staff at all. So somebody...
What do you mean? Or what does that have to do with anything?
So he part of the conditions was that at no point could Biden speak with his staff. So somebody who would have told him, close your fucking mouth and clear your throat, they literally...
Sure. But I mean, also he should just be aware of this for stage presence stuff, right?
Of course. I dipped out
that's all I got for there. There's really not much to say. It was a short video, not really a lot happened, but I was curious on Destiny's perspective. I'm gonna watch longer debates, so prepare for the long crazy videos, and I'm gonna see how these debates are really gonna go down. So we'll stay in tune for that, but we'll be back. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe. Take care. Peace.